Meanwhile, let me just get my notifications up on my screen. There we go. Just change these teams. There we go. Bang. Nice. Okay, minimize that. Get in the game. Ready to go. Also, Terminator RL, just before we get started. Appreciate the sub, dude. These guys, they're probably going to roll with this. 88.122.116 is very good ping for a European server for all these US East guys. So we got 3 servers, or 3 games on this server in this best of 7 before we go out to US East servers. So the European guys will definitely be looking to get a lead here in the first 3 games of this best of 7. This is just a format that I feel is the fairest way to do cross-Atlantic show matches. If other people have a different way on how they like to do it, then that's too bad, because it's my stream and we're doing it my way. Anyway, to get things started, first international show match cross-Atlantic. We have seen USA play 1 international show match in the past against Canada, which they did lose. I think it was 4-1 actually. They got slaughtered. But Denmark on the other side of the Atlantic have been doing great. They've only lost once to Sweden in a 4-2 loss, but they have beaten Norway 4-0, and they have also, I believe, beaten England and also beaten Finland, I believe.
Time Twitch viewer.
Jaman, welcome to the stream, dude.
I want to get your thoughts on if RLCSS3 should incorporate regions outside NA and EU.
Well, it is.
Even though OSA teams would probably get greatly
No,
troubled.
it literally is, dude. You need to go check the RLCS Twitter, because OCE is part of RLCS Season 3. You clearly have not been following the RLCS Twitter. Oh, what a play. Jacob, bar down and in. Oh, no, Snasky with the save. Scratch that. What a save by Snasky. The bar came to the rescue initially, but the ball, I believe, was maybe crossing the line. It was pretty close. This is a great start, though, for Team USA, as 2 members of NRG are teaming up with Vince, probably the least known player in this lobby, but someone who did great for Deception in RLCS Season 2, despite the fact that Deception finished off bottom of the group for RLCS NA. He was definitely the player who stood out, and he's looking really good, probably going to find himself on a competitive team for Season 3. And Vince has actually won a 3 show match on my stream before. He was playing with Espionasad Jr. against Overzero Dapper and Scrubkilla, and they were actually able to take it down. So definitely a player who's proven himself in 3s multiple times, and I'm not expecting him to be overshadowed by this lobby at all. And Garrett, oh, looking for the double touch, can't find it. Maestro is looking for any way to get involved in the play, and right now he can't find that either. Pondex, who had a phenomenal goal yesterday, a couple of phenomenal goals actually, while playing in a 3s wager game. Looking to get back involved with his international teammates here. Things are starting off pretty slowly though, as it often does when these teams are just feeling each other out. Pondex deliberately hitting the ball very sideways there. Quite interesting. Back pass from Maestro. Or from Snasky to Maestro. Or was it the other way around? It was one of those boys. I'm getting their names mixed up. I think one other thing that I was talking to Marky Duda about is we really feel like Denmark is the best looking Rocket League nation when you combine people like Maestro and Snasky. Just the aesthetics are so pleasing. And speaking of pleasing aesthetics, check out that goal. Maestro to Snasky. We are talking about them and they're just scoring a goal as we're speaking. And they're 1-0 up. And Snasky says he's spoken to President Trump and that Trump made Snasky into a wall. So 10 out of 10 meme right there by Snasky. Vince gets beamed by the roll of the ball. Maestro's just going to go for the shot directly. Bit of a weird angle to shoot from in such a high level game. I would not expect a shot like that to go on net. Pondex though, firing from much closer range, a much faster pace. Actually backing out of that one. I'm almost certain that these guys are on comms because that looked like Pondex backed out after hearing a call from his teammate. Oh, the pressure just continues, but Maestro too close. The shots are just getting fired at the USA net, but it's 1-0. The game will remain. Jacob backflip to Garrett. Oh, he went a bit over that one. That was really close to being a phenomenal team play by USA. Vince has got a lot of time here. It doesn't wait for the ball to bounce. He's just going to fire it straight to Jacob, who finds the crossbar. I'm surprised that Vince didn't wait for the bounce there. But he did see the pass opportunity, and it was a decent pass. And Pondex, one of the players who's been very impressive in 3s recently, especially in offense. Offensively, he's just such a monster. His shots and his rebounds and his redirects are just ridiculously impressive. But this is still pretty promising for USA, that they're not getting smashed here. Pretty promising stuff. Because if they were just getting utterly obliterated in game 1, they'd be really worried moving into another 2 games on this server. But obviously, if they can even snatch one game out of the first 3 on the EU server, they'll be feeling pretty confident going into the final 4 games, because they will be, of course, on the USA servers. Oh, Snaski's actually up in there already. Decent play. Does get an awkward ball, but USA are going to deal with it. Final 30 seconds approaching here. Maestro has been dribbling the ball very well out of defense. He's just dribbled 2 players, Vince and Jacob, out the game. Garrett left all by himself. Pinch center ball will get blocked by the aforementioned. And now they desperately need a goal. Do USA. Garrett and Vince both up for that, and they're going to get shut down pretty quickly. And this is final chance now for USA. Snaski and Pond trying to get their dominuses into sync here. I definitely do love Pondix's dominus play, although I was very impressed with this battle. Another double touch goes astray by Garrett. It's a team clear coming out of Pond and Maestro. A bit more of a steal on the initial clear. Pond's going to keep this up, but it will drop. Oh, he gets demoed actually, right as he's trying to keep the ball off the ground. The amount of double touches. Garrett actually missed 2 double touches, but that was still sick. Maestro just spamming the chat. I don't know why. Nah. And it's so good. They're trying to like trigger the NA boys at the start of this series. Hopefully for their sake, they don't get too triggered. Garrett was so close to scoring a nice double touch that series. So close. But he was just not able to on a couple of occasions. Right at the end of the first game, he nearly had a Devo double touch play. But I mean, Garrett is basically the NA Devo as far as double touches go. Like, he loves his double touches. And here we go. Oh, Vince firing way wide of the net as Garrett's trying to get the ball center, but nobody's there, as Vince and Jacob were both very late on the recovery there. Garrett did tell me that he's been feeling a little bit out of Rocket League recently. Jacob's clear, just gets taken away by Vince. It's interesting to see Jacob back in the Octane. But now that there's been Season 3 announcement, I expect Garrett to be right back in the mix of things. He's still definitely, for me, the player to watch when it comes to 3v3 Rocket League in North America. Pondix with another boomer. Every shot from this guy is a boomer. Just ridiculous. Did I say 1? Oh, sorry, there we go. Oh my goodness, I got the score wrong. Beamed it. But look at that utter annihilation coming out from Pondix. Every shot he fires seems to just be an absolute laser. Every time I watch him play, he's able to blast it in the top corner. This shot will go wide though. Vince and Jacob have got some work to do. They don't want to concede a lot of goals, obviously, because they are going to have to face up against this Denmark squad another game after this one. And coming back from 3-0 down, although they will have the server advantage, is not going to be fun. Oh, Vince just not able to get the ball to the side. Tries to go for the sideways clear, but he accidentally beamed it into the center for the second goal. Snaski says thank you very much. But Octane Jacob, ZSR Octane Jacob as well. Interesting to see that he's trying that out. It's a good time for these people to be trying, or these players to be trying out new cars in the off season. Very good time for them to be trying out cars. Maestro pretty patient moving forward there. He saw that Pond was going for a boost steal instead of an immediate rotation out of attack, and he decided that was enough reason not to go aggressive. But now he's just going to move it aggressively because he's got Snaski backing him up. Pretty smart play. Maestro is a very intelligent player. He's been consistently at the top of European leaderboards ever since like over a year ago, despite the fact that he's not a SARP veteran. So don't expect to see too many defensive overextensions by him. Pretty smart player. Very momentum, or not momentum, very possession based player. He does like to keep control of the ball, doesn't want to just give it away at the first opportunity. Or Jacob and Garrett linking up, teammates on NRG as of this season. Of course, Garrett used to be on a different team, Orbit, but he has recently been acquired by NRG. Vince with the open net, can he finish? Yes, he can. Oh no! Will it go in? Surely he gets it on the second attempt. I thought this was going to be in, but it looks like Psionics have fashioned this post to perfectly screw over Vince. But look at that. Pond couldn't get it clear, and Vince, perfect recovery. That's why you want to land on your reels, boys. That's why you want to land on your reels. Bit of an awkward position here for Maestro. He does wait to see where the ball's going to roll before committing to it. Oh, and Maestro with a breaker rotation, but it's caught USA off guard. Gets banged from behind though, Garrett. Behind enemy lines and causing disruption. And the back pass from Garrett to his teammate Jacob. Vince seems to be slotting into this NRG lineup pretty well. Of course, they would probably rather have Fireburner here, but I'm not sure what you guys would think about that. Just having an entire like national team based on an actual team, because if we had Jacob, Garrett, Fireburner, that would probably be the best USA team possible, just because those guys are all playing for the same team week in, week out. But Fireburner was not available, so they've decided to go with Vince, who has scored their first goal of this game. Seems to be slotting into the rotation quite nicely. It's actually been Denmark who have been breaking rotation more often this game, but you know, they've not done too badly. Oh, Vince and Garrett kind of psyching each other out there. Pondix is staying up very, very far, but the Meister seems to be okay with this. This is definitely looking like a great start for Denmark. Oh, that shot was on net. I thought Snasky was going to go for the back pass, but he just tried to redirect it right down into the net. I feel like Denmark look at their best when Maestro is sitting back and actually being the sweeper. Because although, you know, on his regular team Northern Gaming alongside Devo and Remco, we're more used to seeing Remco taking up that role than Maestro. We're very used to seeing Remco at the back anchoring the team, and Maestro being the main force in offense, like setting up Devo, and before that Mystic. Oh, that's a bit of an unfortunate redirect by Jacob. But when Maestro is teaming up with Snasky and Pond, I feel like he is probably the best player to go and sweep for that team, be the anchor. Because Snasky is a little bit more uncomfortable in that role. Although Snasky's wall defense is up there with the best of them. And oh, what a save, Snasky! On the reverse fly. But Garrett able to get the dunk in at the back post. This is a great save on, I think it was Vince's shot. Look at that. Snasky actually getting a block right there. But Garrett there, first on the scene for the open net finish. Everybody on Denmark stuck in the near post. Traffic jam alert. 2-2 is the score. USA looking to tie up not only this game, but also the series with another goal. Looking a lot better as well, our USA, than the time that they played against Canada, because Canada just wiped the floor with USA in a game which was, of course, very, very important for the national rivalry. Oh, Pond got over the top of the aerial. He had an open net right there. And now Maestro running from Jacob, but he's taken every single boost. Usually we would not see a team player do that. If you take the mid boost, you usually want to leave the back boost for one of your teammates. Because Maestro knew Jacob was chasing him, he just took both anyway, because he's like, well, I'm not going to leave it for my opponent. So smart play by Maestro, just draining the entire side of the field. Off boost. He's up, down, and up again. And Snasky on the deep rotation. They're going to have to do a little bit of defending at the end of this game, as the pressure is being piled on by the USA here. It's a very promising sign for USA that they were actually able to turn this game around and at least make it a close one. Jacob nowhere near this rebound, but the own goal coming in from Snasky! It's nearly on net. That was very, very dangerous. And now Vince has actually bumped Jacob on his rotation out of net. And the ball will hit the ground. OT. We go for game 2. Snasky nearly owned gold right at the end of that game, which would have been a disaster for him and for his team. But Pondix has got his center. Can't recover it, but he gets a dunk. Garrett to the rescue, which I'm sure is something I'll be saying a lot in the following year. Garrett, one of the best 3v3 players in the world, not just North America. As Jacob able to get the rebound. Great pass, Vince to Jacob. Vince, if anyone was doubting his position on this team, just look at that play. Jacob up to Vince, and Vince able to get the center ball with a great air roll. And Jacob is there for the finish as well. Great team play by those guys. They've tied up the series on EU servers. Very important that they're able to get at least one game out of the first 3 European server games. And I don't expect the servers to play as big a role as many people would say. Wait. So we're getting a little bit of a rivalry here from Maestro and Jacob. But these guys are very good friends. So don't think that they're hating on each other at all. It's just in good fun. It's all in good fun. Maestro and Jacob having so much fun that they're not even going to ready up. They're just going to continue bantering back and forth. They're just going to continue with the banter. Oh, Jacob's going to go BRB. Alright, Jacob he's very quickly taking a break here. So I'm going to eat a Mawam product placement. I feel like at this juncture I'm compelled to say that I am not sponsored by Mawams. But at the same time, if you've never tried these, try one. So good. Especially the Coca-Cola ones. They're the best. Really great. Why did Garrett leave? Garrett left the party. What? Pondix saying killing their momentum when they just lost a game. I bet that sounds delicious. I mean, it is delicious. What's a Mawam? Google it. It's love. Ombor. It's M-A-O-A-M. M-A-M. Yeah, M-A-O-A-M. I had to think about that one. I'm curious to see if Garrett has changed car here. He might be feeling a little bit rusty, but I mean, they did just win a game, so I would not recommend that. Sugar content warning. Let's check if Garrett changed car. No, he did not. He might have just changed his paint color. Oh, Jacob with the internet problems. Hopefully that doesn't play too big a factor. It was fine up until now, but now his internet provider just beamed it. We got default Maestro camera settings, so we're probably going to stay away from Maestro this game. And Pondex, I should have warned you guys, this takes a long time to eat. I could just swallow it, but I'll probably be sick because it's so chewy. But definitely one thing I will say is look out for Pondex to be cheating forward more than his teammates. Definitely the most offensively minded player on his team is Pondex. And it's a decent pass. Maestro not able to get enough of an angle on it. And actually Jacob just clearing that ball. Not an ideal hit. Oh my goodness, I shouldn't have eaten a Moan. This is a disaster. I can't swallow this. It's like too chewy. Ugh. Very chewy, indeed. I can't do this. It's too hard. What have I done? Okay. I swallowed it. We're good. Meister with the air roll. Maybe get the double touch. Jacob says no. Smart for Jacob to go up on the backboard there. He knew that the double touch was an option for Maestro. He shut that down as soon as it started. Of course, with backboard defense becoming so solid for all these teams these days, it's unfortunate because double touches are going to become more and more rare. But Maestro, probably the player in this lobby who's most willing to take the ball to the ground. And Maestro's 3v3 dribbling is always a little bit tricky. He's likes to throw in the mind games and the tricks. He's always enjoyed that as Maestro. And again, he's just going to take it to the ground, try and mind game Jacob. Jacob's going to sit on the ground, but Vince beans Jacob out the way. And Jacob with the quick recovery. Able to get the goal, actually. Snasky and Pond in the net, not able to recover it in time to keep this out. Vince just drove straight into Jacob, but Jacob didn't mind. He just popped the ball. Oh. Snasky got dunked on by Pond. I knew there were some shenanigans there because that should have been an easy save. Should have been an easy save. Pondex not trusting Snasky in the net. Huge misplay. Just takes Snasky out the game. Snasky did save it, but Pond dunked on him. So that's probably why we always see Pond in attack and not in defense, because he is way better in offense, I would say, than defense. That's just mainly because his offense is so good and his defense is average. But right now, USA piling on the pressure. This is really good news for them because this is European servers. We're going to USA servers for 4 games potentially in a row after this one. More possession maintenance coming out of Denmark though. They don't want to just soft clear the ball because look how deep USA are sitting. Garrett just backing off the halfway line. Vince now backing off way deep. Everybody spreading out really well for USA as we glance around. They're just all over the place right now. Making sure never to double commit to the ball, which is extremely important. This is very impressive obviously because this Denmark team have done exceptionally well in show matches in the past. So it's definitely an impressive performance if USA can take them down. Pond in defense again. Vince in the 1v1. Goes for the mind game. Just drills it right into Pond. Pond holds his nerve. There's always a temptation to go for a pre-jump in that sort of situation. Snasky and Pond actually crafting out a chance for Maestro, but it did kind of loft above the net, kind of awkwardly. Jacob, one of the most threatening North American passers, of course, if not the most. One of the most creative passers in North America as well. I'm always very happy to see Jacob playing because he finds unique ways to just put the ball in awkward positions for the opposition. Oh, Vince got a decent wall clear, but he wasn't able to get any follow-up. This is great news for USA. They're actually 1 minute and 30 remaining, rotating brilliantly. If maybe a little bit too deep at times. Vince getting taken out of the game just because he's too far away from the play. Right there. Oh, that was an open net. Snasky's looking for the pass to Pond though. And Maestro back to the halfway line, but Snasky's able to get the finish. Great one too. I expected Maestro to go in here because there was only like 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the clock, so Pond centering it there. You'd expect it to be Maestro going in for the play. But Snasky just gets right back up in the air despite the fact he has no momentum. Great finish. Really, really 10 out of 10 finish right there by Snasky, tying the game. 5 ones on the scoreboard as the clock's 1:11. Double mind game in the midfield. I'm a prophet. I was talking about the initial double mind game. Maestro tries to go the whole way without touching the ball. I'm actually a prophet though. I called the double mind game because we saw a USA player and then a Denmark player both leaving the ball. But then Maestro literally got a double mind game in the midfield. I'm a prophet. I'm a prophet, boys. Don't know, did you see that? I said double mind game and then Maestro did it. Please tell me somebody saw it. Please, anyone. I'll take, even if one person saw it, I'll take it. Because that was next level. I don't think I've ever called a double mind game before it happened. That's insane in a pro game. But obviously it was an accident. I didn't actually mean to. Didn't mean to. It was a misplay. But anyway, I was speaking a lot about USA and their mentality. Europe, on the other hand, desperately need to win this game because we're going to go 4 USA servers in a row after this. And if they go into that, well, 2-1 down, they've got to have a little bit of doubt in their minds because USA are performing very well on European servers with the slight ping disadvantage. And look at this double commit in defense. That is the entire team out of the game. Vince not able to keep the ball up though. And expect Pond usually goes for the face-offs. Up against Garrett this time. But Vince has been having a great series. The newcomer, the most unknown player on the stream. The player who, the only real meme surrounding him is who is Vince. He's having a great showing here. Slotting right into the USA team with style. Snasky looking for a double touch. And he gets it, but the crossbar denies him. Oh, that was so close by Snasky. Open net for Pond. Tight angle, but that doesn't matter. Pondex will find the angle. Great play though. Snasky taking everybody out of the game and Maestro just making it hard enough. Actually, Garrett, or Vince, took the clear away from Jacob right there. Panicking in defense. But wow. The amount of dribbles. US East time, boys. 2-1 for EU going into the US servers. And we're going to have every game that is remaining in this series on US servers. So, Jacob can't wait to have less than 200 ping. Again. So the boys, they might reroll a few times here if it's not what they're used to getting on a good US East server. Excuse me, I'm getting a cold or something. I'm getting a cold, boys. Yep, I gotta unmute. Or, yeah, unmute. Anybody get Vince's camera settings? I don't know, you could ask Vince. He streams on Twitch. I think it's Vince, twitch.tv/VinceRL. Ping. Okay, so we're gonna re-roll this one. The boys feel like they can get better ping, and they certainly can, and they're entitled to do this. We're gonna just... Every time that they say ping in the chat, we're gonna flip in out and in again. Try and get a better server for these guys, because we're gonna be in this server for 4 games in a row, so we want it to be as good as possible. Just in the sake of fairness. Obviously you can never have a completely level playing field no matter how you do this, unless you did aggregate score best of 2 or something. That would be fair. But in a best of series, okay, this is actually pretty good. Everybody hovering around 120, 110. Sasky's gonna settle for this one. Last time we had somebody around 140, but this time they're all about 120, 110. And although that might seem like a small thing, that does make a difference. Those milliseconds can make a difference here. Pond with the pinch center ball, just need to take it clear actually. Snasky now sitting deep. We're seeing Maestro moving up aggressively, which is not what we're used to seeing from him this specific series. But will he adopt a more aggressive role? Or will they just continue to have Maestro sweep? I think the Maestro sweep is looking pretty good. But you never know how it's going to go. Garrett actually with a ceiling shot right there. Definitely an underused mechanic in my opinion is the ceiling shot. Just bouncing the ball off the ceiling. And trying to get a shot directly into the goal at speed, because of course you can blast it right up into the ceiling and it'll come right back down again. Maestro securing boost in the midfield. Vince just gonna dribble the ball right past him and takes it center past Snasky. Vince continues to impress here. alongside Garrett and Jacob, but that miss nearly cost USA. Garrett whiffing. Uncharacteristic of him. And here we see Pond cheating up as usual. Seeing Pond up in the blind spot of the defense is very, very common. He likes to just sit up there and take people by surprise. Starting to wonder, I said at the start of the game that I wouldn't be surprised if Denmark were on comms together, but the more that I'm watching them play today, the more I would be surprised if they are, because they are double committing quite often, which is unusual for a team that's usually so organized and good at spacing each other out. And the whiff's coming in. Vince and Garrett both not finding the center ball that they're looking for. Pretty smart play by Jacob to get a sidewards pass here. You saw like Garrett didn't even expect Jacob to be able to get that much of an angle. He moved forward aggressively. Garrett, another double touch going astray. He is not on point with his double touches, but it doesn't matter. These double touches, even if they miss, they are setting up pressure. Like right there, Garrett's trying to score. He wants to score that double touch. But double commit in defense. We're getting double everything here. Oh, and the trash talk. Garrett trash talking himself and then supplementing that with a bit of trash talk on Maestro. There's Jacob's patented wave dash kickoff, which I really feel doesn't do that much except waist boost, but it, you know, it's fast if nothing else. It's fast. So Maestro and Snasky able to get the ball clear. Smart play by Maestro, just going to fly right after his weak hit because he wants to try to get as much distance on it as possible. Maestro, an opportunity. Jacob with a quick recovery. Jacob initially being the clear, but he did get back on his feet and into the play a second time. Maestro's doing a lot of work here, managing to pressure pretty much single-handedly in that corner. And again, another situation where two Denmark players are in the exact same situation, exact same position, trying to accomplish the same task. But they're not being as successful as you'd expect. Oh, Vince really should have had that rebound. It's a great pass by Garrett into the center. Like Garrett, like I said, both of these times that he's blamed himself for missing a double touch, it has actually resulted in a goal, because backboard hits in threes are so dangerous. Garrett actually, pretty smart play there, turning his back to the wall because he didn't want his wheels to hit the wall and then wobble his car off the line that he was trying to set up. If you just turn your back to the wall, you can, you know, just bounce off the wall in that situation. It's another reason why we see pros do that in defense when they're trying to fly from the shadowing position. To get an overhead clear, they'll often turn their back to the wall. So for two reasons. One, because it's more intuitive to fly facing the ball. And secondly, it's, you know, like I said, you're not going to bounce. Oh, Pondex again with the precision. Continues to impress in offense. Setting it up to himself there. Nobody in a good position. Look at that ceiling pass. Jacob tried to read that. He was already on the back wall. But Pond is doing exactly what I talked about earlier. Just going to use that ceiling to set himself up. And Garrett has to pull out a last second save to stop Pond doubling up here. There you go. Ceiling underrated, boys. Ceiling underrated. I'm telling you. Like, it's the best way to set up the play in the current metagame because everybody's just defending their wall so well. And everybody's like already on moving up onto the wall so early. Oh, Pond was going for the demo and Vince, but it just turned into himself getting bumped. But they were probably going to get their possession turned over regardless, as hard clear did come in, and now everybody in Denmark in one position. Pond getting an absolute boomer of a clear again, just hitting it straight up into the ceiling. So maybe he's listening to the stream. He's like, alright, yeah, I hear you, Johnny. I'll try this ceiling shenanigans that you're talking about. Is he going to do it again? No, this time back wall is where he's going to aim. But nobody's positioned on that back wall this time. Garrett just going to let the ball bounce. Jacob pulling out a good save out of Snasky. A good save, snave, I said, I believe. Did I just say snave out of Sasky? Oh dear, I can't speak. Alright, Garrett putting on his Jazer impression, just having a little bit of an affair with the ceiling. But so far things are looking pretty level regardless of what server we're going to be on. Who's going to steal this game? We might see just a single goal in regulation time, or a single goal in overtime take this. I like the Garrett turned around here because the shot was threatening. Maestro boomed it at the net. 5 seconds remain. Pond lining it up. Air roll shot, of course. Not a strange thing to be seeing out of a player like Pond. Snasky tries to take the game at the last second. Pond's going to keep it up. Doesn't look like Maestro's got much boost to speak of right here. And Pond will let it drop. Overtime, game 4. USA on their home server. Can Europe get a break of serve, essentially? Oh, Maestro. Good hit forward. taking 2 players out of the game. We see, I wanted to see what Maestro was going to do here. He is just going to stay upfield, trusting both his teammates to pinch clear that, which is quite a lot of trust, honestly. Sneski, bit of a, not the greatest step forward there. Just kind of passing it straight up to where Garrett was already presenting himself. And Pond now, you see there, Maestro would have had a boomer, but Pond got in his way. So these guys probably not on comms, just based on that alone. Because Maestro would have been like, leave it, leave it, leave it, I've got it, I've got it, I've got it, or something. Or however you say that in Danish. I don't know how you say that in Danish. Danish pastry is really the only Danish word I know. And I don't think that's even Danish. In fact, I know it isn't. Okay, Vince with the dunk. And the center ball. Garrett's going to have to sit back though. His teammates are extremely overextended. He's one-on-one with Maestro. Comes to the rescue, does Jacob. Europe are absolutely trying to steal this. Oh, Snasky with the mind games now. Vince has no boost to speak of. This is great for Denmark, but Maestro's shot isn't a good one. Where's Snasky? Sitting deep. Everybody, there's a lot of, like, massive overstays in offense right now, coming out of both teams. Where we'll see people just refusing to rotate out straight away, which is causing these anchors to just have no confidence at all moving forward. Vince facilitating again. More center balls. Snasky blocks. Pondix is clear. Maestro again reverting back to the dribble, but Snasky just going to come in and take it from him. I'm not sure what that was about. Maestro's looked pretty comfortable dribbling out of defense, but Snasky didn't want to have any of that. He just comes in and takes it away. Good dunk by Maestro, flying after his own soft clear. This game moving deep in overtime now. One more goal for Denmark would be such a huge blow to the USA's chances. But here comes Garrett, saved by Maestro, barely inside of the post to the rescue on both sides of the net. Look out Denmark whenever Garrett is up around the aerials. An aerial battle right there by Maestro and Jacob, just fighting each other in the middle of the air. And again, everybody in Denmark very comfortable taking the ball to the ground to get it out the net. And Garrett, there he is, finally gets his rebound. Vince was causing disruption. Little bit of a mind game by Vince as Garrett flies it forward. Just going to follow it the whole way. And we got a little bit of a celebration out of Denmark in front of the play. Just going left to right and right to left simultaneously. The defense splits. Garrett just part the orange sea and ties up the series. And now with 3 games remaining on this US server, you got to think USA are the slight favorites here. Got to think they're the favorite. Oh boys, I've been holding in a sneeze for like 5 minutes. This is a nightmare. USA versus Denmark. And for everybody who's like not sure just how good this Denmark team is, because obviously USA is a far larger nation than Denmark, but you know, they'll probably compete with each other pretty evenly in some sports, like football for example. That's soccer for those of you from the hand-egg nations. You know, Denmark as a team, like on paper, this is a very, very even matchup, I'd say. And with Vince playing a player who's definitely not played, I would say, with his teammates here as often as the Denmark team has, I would give Denmark the slight advantage. I would give Denmark the slight advantage in this matchup. But USA proving to be a good match for them today, which is encouraging to see, because when they played against Canada, they did not put on a good show. Double boost steal coming in from Vince. But will they be able to do anything with this pressure? Not sure about that hit as he centers the ball to Snasky, and Snasky's going to take the advantage. Really questionable play out of Vince here. He just saw the ball. Oh, Garrett was going to come in and try and take that ball, but unfortunately Vince has just put it right behind his opponent, or right behind his teammate. Snasky capitalizing immediately. Just a really smart placement of the shot by Snasky as well. Able to put that behind the defender, just to make sure that there was no chance Garrett could save it. Oh, Meister getting a bit of a fortunate pinch clear there. So he was already halfway through his dodge, and he just kind of landed on the ball and pinched it. Yeah, but good play there by Pondix. He's, you know, firing way, way wide of the net right there, and he knows that. He knows he's not shooting the ball anywhere near the net. What on earth is Snasky doing? He's like been up and on the wall for a long time. But yeah, so Pondek's on that hit. He knows he's not scoring with it because he's like, you know, aiming to basically clear the ball. But all he cares about is getting it past Jacob in that situation. Oh, and speaking of past Jacob, Jacob having to do almost vertical aerial. Got a Harrier jet takeoff to make sure that he doesn't bean that. Snasky, bit of a mind game center ball, faking a high aerial, instead goes low. Maestro's so quick to switch left to right here. Let's see, all he's doing when he's anchoring right there is trying to read what USA are trying to do as far as clearing the ball. So if whenever Maestro's an anchor and he expects the ball to get cleared down the left flank, he'll move over to, you know, to be there ready for it. And whenever he expects it to go down the right flank, he, you know, goes to the right side of the field. We just see him switching back and forth. Of course, if you're the second man forward and you got backup, you don't really need to be paying that much attention to what the other team are doing. You can just try and follow up on whatever your teammate is doing. That's a general metagame in competitive threes at the moment. It's just one anchor, and of course that anchor can change as the game progresses. But generally, one team will have a preferred defender. Priority defender. It's like or priority offense. You know, some teams like to do it the other way around. Continuing to dribble our Denmark. And Snasky bumping Garrett out the net. Now will we see a bit of Jacob grind game? Yes we will. Heavy first touch immediately shuts it down though. Yeah, the Denmark grind game has looked absolutely on point this series. Lots of successful dribbles, which is not easy to do in 3v3. Like, dribbling in threes is pretty hard to do consistently. A little bit of a Moi guys play out of Vince and Jacob. They were both up at the same time for that, but it will work in their favor. I feel like the reason this Denmark team works so well together is because you have like a really, not a clashing bunch of playstyles, but what we do have is three players who all bring different skill sets to the table. So we got Maestro with his, you know, very impressive maintenance of possession and ground game and 50-50 ability. It's all that 1v1 prowess coming into 3v3. Just very smart play. Good at the anchor roll. Then you got Snasky, who's very, very good at aerials and the wall game. And then you got Pondex, who just has absolute boomers. Every time he touches the ball, it booms. It goes miles. So with that mixture, we got the control of Maestro, I'd say as the best word I can come up with Snasky is the precision. The control of Maestro, the precision of Snasky, and the raw power out of Pondex. And all that combined just turns into this team which are really quite hard to beat. We've never seen them playing against Scotland. We've never seen them play against Germany, I believe. Or have we? Have we seen Denmark versus Germany before? Somebody help me out here. Have we seen Denmark versus Germany? If we have, I feel like Denmark were the winners. Somebody help me out here in chat. How did this go in? This should not happen at all. Oh, Vince. A little bit too much faith in Garrett. And Garrett's infield dribble, he just kind of presented the dunk. He turned his car into a wedge for Maestro to just bounce the ball off. You don't think so? No. Okay. So Denmark have not played against Germany. Germany and Scotland, I believe, would be the two teams who would give Germany the best, or who would give Denmark the best match. Perhaps Canada as well. But USA proving to not be pushovers by any stretch of the imagination. Although game 5 looking like the Danes are the favourites. Oh, Pondex was looking for the downward redirect. Will this be a Garrett goal? Center ball. Snasky reacts to it in time. Why do I let USA and Showmatch the 100th best player from USA? Vince is definitely not 100th best from USA. He's playing a pretty good series here. Playing a pretty good series is Vince. In fact, he's got more points, so clearly he's the best player, right? Right? This is looking like it's going to be Denmark's game, though. Snasky gets the third goal. 14 seconds remain. That will be GG in game 5. And now we have an extremely interesting finish to the game because double match point for Denmark, double US East server for the final 2 games, or potentially 1 game if Denmark can take game 6 as well. This will be a best of 7, of course. It looks like Garrett has indeed stopped moving. He does not have faith in the 3-goal comeback, and I don't blame him. Those are pretty rare. Pretty rare are the 3-goal comebacks, and 3-2 will be the score. Vince probably closer to top 30 NA. There's no way you could name me 29 North American players who are better than Vince. No way. Good luck. Good luck. Do I know Vince's ranks? No, I don't. But there's absolutely no way you could name 29 players who are better than Vince. Somebody's going to try, and they're going to fail. I guarantee it. And Vince is third for this because Jacob and Garrett chose him. They chose him rather than anyone else who was available at the time. So it was up to them. Of course, they didn't want to pick a US West player, so that limited a few players, like Rizzo perhaps, because you know, they didn't want to bring a US West player to a European versus American game, as the US West players struggle a lot more in EU than the US East players do. Top 20? Oh yeah, Vince is top 20 for sure. Top 20 for sure. I'd say like I've not looked at my player spreadsheet recently, but I'll talk about that a little bit after the series if you guys remind me. I'll try and give my top NA players list as of recent times. We're talking about USA, not just NA. We're talking about USA as well. Top 20 USA. Remember that a lot of NA players are actually Canadian as well, so they don't count in the USA discussion. But USA, they're not out of this yet. They've got the double USA server. We've had 2 breaks of server. USA took a game on EU. Or I'm calling them EU, but it's Denmark took a game on the US server, and USA also took a game on the EU server. So we're tied up on server breaks, and now it's just up to USA to try and finish strong. If they can finish strong, and honestly, if they can take this game, they'll go into the last game with all the momentum, and they'll have won 3 out of the previous 4. Which is a pretty good result. Whereas Fireburner, well, Fireburner wasn't available, so that's why they chose Vince as their third. I didn't choose this team, they did. Well, I told Garrett and Jacob to pick a team because they were my obvious picks for the team captains. Pond and Maestro are really getting in each other's way a lot. Surprising to see, because these guys are usually so good at rotating around each other, making sure that they can facilitate each other's plays. Garrett going for a boost steal rather than a follow-up on his own ceiling pass right there. Vince has actually moved forward as well. We got a lot of players aggressively postured for both teams at the moment, which usually leads to a goal occurring sooner rather than later. But everybody seems to be doing pretty good on boost as well. End-to-end gameplay means that pretty much all the big boost pads are being consumed by someone at any one time. You really only see the boost starving start to come in when one team starts to pressure another team into their own half, and you know, start to control the corner boost on the opposite side of the field. Garrett nearly gets the goal there. That was really tentative defending by Maestro. He didn't know what to do. The ball was behind him. He had no idea what was going on at the back post, and Garrett, rotation just back in time. Boom clear by Jacob to Garrett. And a good shot on the net. Snaski has to pull a good save. Look at this. Continued end-to-end gameplay, which, again, like I said, just means lots of boost on pretty much everybody, because they're all moving around the field. They're spreading out. Deep rotations by everybody on the field as well. Utilizing the back boosts, which is conceding a lot of pressure. Jacob actually described a boost steal, so if there was ever a good chance for USA to start to mount some pressure, they needed to, at simultaneous moments, get that boost steal and also move in with someone else in their team to continue to pressure. Double 50-50 on a dead ball. Rare sight right there in threes. Yeah, USA are struggling to get consistent pressure just because the variety of clears that Denmark are bringing to the table. We're seeing the dribble clears of Maestro, the mind games, we're seeing Pondix with the boomers, and Snaski comfortably defending the wall for large portions of the game. You know, I'm not just saying that that's the only players defending the wall. Maestro and Pond also doing a fair bit of wall defense. Good play by Maestro right there. Just doing enough to dissuade Garrett's rebound, while also just not panicking in a situation where panicking would have almost certainly led to a goal. For USA, the USA are starting to get a little bit of pressure here. Seeing a couple of double commits for the Danes, but that's 3 deep rotations in a row for USA. Just completely conceding pressure. That's something that I usually see more out of North American Rocket League teams than European Rocket League teams. It's just everybody goes to get boost at the same time, and then the defending team are like, okay then, I guess we've got loads of time to decide what we want to do with this ball. And that, you know, you can see the relief of pressure after we saw 2 double commits in a row in defense for Denmark. Suddenly, USA just gave up all the pressure in one moment. Pondix with the boost steal. Double commit from USA, but the ball is deep into Denmark's half again. Maestro on the recovery. But good spreading out by USA. Apart from the occasional double aerial, they are doing a pretty good job giving each other space, but again, it's going to be so hard for anyone to follow up on these passes because they're never closely following each other. Oh my goodness, Maestro gets what could be the winning goal on an extremely low scoring game. Great hit forward by Pond. For once, no one on the backboard ready to intercept that play. Pondix, of course, the most threatening shooter in the lobby up till this point. You see him going up for an aerial. We know what he can do from that position. Everybody on the USA team expects him to shoot. And right then, in that moment, the most crucial moment of the entire series is when he chooses to go for the backboard pass. Really smart play by Pondix. Might have just won the game for Denmark, but we mustn't forget Maestro. Exceptional rebound ability as he backs up to the back post. Making sure not to go too close to his goalkeeper. And there we go, Snaski at his natural habitat on the wall. Maestro, natural habitat, keeping the ball to himself. 10 seconds, USA need a goal and another game after the fact. Can they do it? Vince to the upper 90! Shuts down all of the haters. Tie game. Unbelievable shot by Vince. Panic in defense, Maestro centers the ball, Pond can't get to it. And Vince just silenced every hater in chat simultaneously. Who is Vince? That's Vince, guys. There he is. Just saving the USA's hopes and dreams. Freedom. And can they actually keep the ball up here? Garrett does so. Jacob does so. Garrett, oh, he's looking for a pass to Vince right there, but he couldn't find it. Vince, that was a phenomenal shot. Upper 90. He didn't even need to put it in the upper 90, but ties the game on an extremely low scoring game. Good pass by Jacob to the aforementioned Vince, who must be feeling pretty good about himself right now. I mean, I certainly would if I scored that goal. That would be a pretty good feeling. Again, there you go. Garrett's so afraid to move forward because with Vince and Jacob both being in the air at that moment, it's so scary for Garrett to move forward, and that's why we see him like turning away from the play, because he knows if he moves forward and he doesn't win the ball, they're getting scored on. And you know, the refusal to do quick rotations out of attack, constantly going for boost steals rather than immediate exits from offense, are causing USA to lose pressure pretty consistently. But so far in this game, it hasn't been a huge issue, as Denmark are having the exact same problem. They're not able to link up their passes, they're getting intercepted, and they're not trusting each other as much as their USA brethren. The game's really calmed down a lot, but I feel like a goal is probably going to come out of nowhere, because both the goals this game have come from exactly that location. And oh, Jacob out of position. He's not going to get punished, but that was nearly a huge misplay by Jacob, as that mispositioning did give a free shot to Snaski in the midfield. And now backing off again, everybody from USA running. And now Maestro's up confidently because he knows his teammates are out. What a save, Vince! Saves USA yet again. The ball was halfway across the line. Vince draws it back to life. Vince is the hero that USA needed, boys. As Jacob's going to get an awkward pass. Snaski again defending the wall so well, making it so difficult for USA to get any center ball. And Pondix with a half volley wall clear. It's a monster. Jacob to Garrett. Continues it on. This game has turned into an extremely interesting one. Oh, and Garrett draws out a save from Pond. They need to keep pressure. But again, Snaski, every time his team needs him on the wall, he's right there. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. But, oh, a miss. Coming out off Pondix. Maestro in a 1v1. Vince is going to come in and rescue, I think it was Jacob, from that situation, as Maestro was looking to get a shot lined up. And now Jacob with the dunk. Is that on net? Oh, it's off the post. So close. There's been so many close calls this game. It's such a exciting 1-1 that we're seeing here. And the ball is, sometimes it's like pinging around the field, going places. Other times it's just completely calming down. And something else that we've seen Denmark do pretty well is when they, you know, do these soft hits, they are all following up very well on their own hits by, you know, going for these air dribbles after the fact just to dunk on the ball. Make sure to deny as much of an angle as possible from the interception. Vince gets his chance to control the ball. Jacob, you're going to continue it on, but Maestro this time. USA forcing Denmark to do a lot of defending here, but Denmark proving to be pretty solid. Besides that one panic at the end of the game, where Vince pulled the goal out of his bum, they have been pretty good. And Maestro actually had a really good chance there. The passing play is coming together. Garrett to the center. Looks like Jacob is sitting way deeper than we're used to seeing from him this game. Garrett's just got a decent demo. Oh my goodness! I can't believe Garrett didn't just pop that ball blind. He just waited for it to come right across him. And this is creative passing by Denmark. They're getting the ball left and right. The more times you can change the direction of the play left to right, the more times that the defense are going to be surprised. Oh, and Vince, he had a really good chance there. Tons of time to decide what to do. Oh, Garrett's so close. Saved his dodge to make sure to get that ball clear. Nice mechanics off the wall. Hits the brakes. Make sure not to slide down the wall. Does Garrett. And a good recovery. Vince able to get the clear and the landing on his wheels. Just honestly exceptional wall defense coming out of these two teams this game. Oh, the triple commit! Snatsky with an opportunity. He's going to fire high. Pond is already up here. And the shot will get blocked. Really important save there by Jacob, who managed to save enough boost despite the fact that he jumped up for a save right before that. And that's not a good clear by Maestro. But again, he's just flying after his own bad clear. And he's able to get a second touch on it. Able to get a dunk when he reaches his destination. Almost double match length here as overtime extends. Garrett in the blind spot. Vince coming in. Boomer! Bar down and out. Oh my goodness, Vince nearly sealed the game. That would have been heroic performance number 3 by Vince, as Maestro actually just took Snatsky out of the game. Vince again firing to the net. Pond, will he be safe in defense? This time he will, but boost steals are coming in for the USA. Again though, every time they go for these boost steals, there's nobody there for the third rotation. Like they're going in, centering the ball, and then player number 2 comes in, and he'll hit the ball. Player number 3 comes in, hits the ball, but then player number 1 hasn't made it back out to the midfield and back in again in time because he was too busy stealing boost and going for bumps and stuff. So I want to see more quick rotations out of offense by USA. If they ever want to get consistent pressure on this Denmark lineup, they need to get out of offense faster. As soon as they center the ball, they need to rotate out. But Vince has had a lot of opportunities this game. He's been so close. Snatsky reads the pre-jump. Takes it under. This game is 5 minutes and 36 seconds into overtime. Ridiculous length on the game. So Vince doing a little bit of wall clearing of his own. Oh, Jacob had so much time, but he's just throwing the ball away. Huge giveaway by Jacob right there. And Vince just trying to get the ball away from danger. There's such deep posturing by these guys. Such deep posturing. It's hard to see where the goal is going to come from because the passing plays are not really happening. It's just mindless blasting off the ball by these guys. And it continues. There we go. An attempted passing play to the blind spot, but Jacob with the interception. It was a pretty slow pass out of Snatsky. They match each other in the air. 6 minutes into overtime. Vince! Oh, he had a great opportunity, but he beamed it. He was looking for the bar down shot right there. He knows that anything worse will not be good enough. He knows that this defense, the goalkeeping coming out of Denmark, is good enough that he needs to get the absolute perfect shot. Snatsky! There he gets it! That's what Vince was looking for at the other end. And Snatsky finds it. Denmark take it. Pond following that one up, feigning the fact that he might even go for a double touch. It doesn't matter though. Bar and back to Snatsky. They were defending for a long time that game, but they have sealed it. Consistency paid in the end. And GG's, despite a good showing by USA, they will drop 2-4 to the mighty Danes. The Great Danes have taken it in 6. But GG's. These guys, they're having a bit of banter. They're trash talking in the post-game chat, but they're good friends. They're only having a bit of fun here. Don't worry about it. But GG's, what a series. That was really entertaining. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I know I did. Congrats to Denmark taking down the USA. Marky just messaging me saying he's not beamed. So representing Scotland might be a thing. What is he talking about? I'm going to text him. Hold on. I'll text Marky. But GG's. Denmark continue their impressive run of form. Oh, my phone's dead. My phone's dead. Hold on. Hold on, hen. Vince, speed, momentum, momentums. Yes. Impressive showing by Vince. because this is a lobby where Vince was certainly the least known player. Although Pondex may be another player who's slightly less well known. Although with his recent performances in Europe, it's not surprising to see Pond just slotting in comfortably